Bang Prabhu, Hare Krishna, everyone. Danda Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Haribol. Thank you for joining, Prabhu. Today we have this nice meditation.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
So today we are having this night session because I'm Raskal number 1 and the Rahu planet will take me otherwise. So I have to take this protection of Bhagavatam because otherwise I would be in big danger. So we will.
You forgot that we are also conditioned souls. So, yeah, we need to take shelter of the Bhagavatam. Yes, definitely.
Yes, we can do this together.
Let's do this together. Haribol.
Yeah, this is like the shield, because nothing can take your life if you're reading Bhagavatam. So if there is any time in your life, some dangerous moment, just read Bhagavatam.
Yeah, Bhagavatam Sivayam. Yeah, we need to always read Bhagavatam. Always. Night and day. We become immortal just by reading.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, can we read on bed also?
Yes, Prabhu.
During sleeping time?
Yes, Prabhu, no problem. But when you have to sleep, usually you're sleeping. It's hard to read when you're sleeping. But
yeah.
If you need to sleep, you can also because sometimes if I need to sleep and I hear there is chanting, then I put my computer into the japa session and then I hear the whole time when I'm sleeping. Like last night I did like this.
And you know,
but I have a problem of sleep. I cannot sleep at night. I have no proper sleep. So I want to ask that can I read?
Yeah, that's no problem. Of course you can read. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also read, and he was doing a lot of work when he was at night. You don't have to have sleep. Yes, Prabhu.
Mobile or book also I can read.
Yeah, both are okay, but be careful with the mobile light because it can damage your eyes if you don't look at it in a dark room. Don't look at the bright screen in a dark room because that will damage the eyes a lot.
Well, at least you can download some screen. How to say that? There's some protection. There is some application where it makes it easy for in the night. Some night vision, something like that.
Yeah. But Prabhu, I don't put a bulb in my room all night. It lights.
Yes, Prabhu. If you can have some light, then it's okay. It won't be so bad for the eyes. But try to have enough sleep during the day then, that you have enough sleep.
But I think that by reading Bhagavatam, it will regulate your sleeping.
Yes, Prabhu.
This is really something really virtuous. The moment we read Bhagavatam, then it purified ourselves. So perhaps it will regulate your sleep. So and there is a verse in Canto 7, chapter 14. I think this is Narada speaking this with to Yudhishthira. He said that instruction for Grihastha. He said that at night in India, traditional in culture, there were discussing about the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Mahabharata, and everything. So at night, in India, actually doing Krishna Katha. It is in 7th Canto, chapter 14, text 1, 2, 3, in the purport. So it's perfectly fine to read at night. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Krishna book, it's perfectly fine. Bhagavad Gita, no problem. But, if you need to sleep, go to sleep, right? This is very important because otherwise you will compromise your your rise early in the morning. It will be compromised. can't wake up if you don't have a sufficient sleep.
Yes, Prabhu.
And you know, in Ekadashi, we can have those reading sessions at night. You know, we can read more. Like in Ekadashi time, we need to hear and read more. So we can have those special reading sessions also. It would be very nice, you know.
Yes, Prabhu, that's true.
Perhaps perhaps we can read some pastimes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you know, some great personality pastime. It would be very nice, Prabhu. Guarantee you.
Prabhu, is there a moon eclipse today at your place?
No, Prabhu. We are too rascal for that.
Oh, you don't have it. That's really good then, actually.
I don't know if I don't have it, but the moon is very bright here. And at the beginning of when the moon was rising, actually the moon was very, like yellow, like Gora.
Yes, Prabhu.
You know?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, very very beautiful. When I finished the Harinam, you were all in live, you know, in Zoom. The moon was yellow, very beautiful, just like Goranga.
Yeah, this is the golden moon.
And now, it's illuminating everywhere. You know, it's very bright, very very big and bright.
Yes, Prabhu. Rahu is attacking it. Yeah, it's happening now. This is Saint Denis. Let's see. Oh, it begins 1928. What is the time now?
19 what?
1928.
Oh, it's 1949. Already began, huh?
Yeah, it started 7:28.
Oh,
And
really? Okay.
it ends at 5 minutes before 1 a.m.
But Prabhu, in India, people are very much. I mean, they don't eat some 4 hours before moon eclipse, and after also they don't do many things.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, this is good. And tomorrow, and the clothes that you have now on, they should be changed and washed.
Yes, Prabhu.
And
And they also don't eat the food they have made before the eclipse.
Yes, Prabhu, and to not touch what it was, to not touch many things, because everything we touch gets now polluted.
In Canada, there is no eclipse, so from here we cannot really see anything.
Oh, is it not? Let's see.
No problem. Only Asia, Africa, Australia, and Europe.
Oh, really? Yes, Prabhu, you're in cover. Yeah, there's. But here is really cloudy, so I don't think we can see anything. And there is still sunlight, so it's not even dark enough.
Oh, I will stop. I will show you how big this is. The moon is like big.
Prabhu, in
Very
India, it is total dark.
Oh.
Oh, here is not dark. It's very bright.
Don't look at the moon too much, Prabhu. We should not look at the moon too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now
But the moon is Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, but the Rahu planet is in front of it now. It's attacking, so it's radiating really dangerous, like radiation. Prahlad Prabhu said
okay, I will not share. Sorry.
Prahlad Prabhu said if there is pregnant woman, they should definitely not like go to the moonlight now. He said like this, so that it must be not good. So I'm trying to avoid it also.
And Sai Prabhu, are you happy that the curd fasting is over finally?
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, yesterday night I drank the last milk that we had.
Nice, Prabhu.
Oh, I need to go.
You know, I don't know about this eclipse or what, but today I distributed 24 books. And at the end, you know, many children, small children, gather and they chant the holy name with me. And
Yes, Prabhu.
it was really divine. And
Yes.
at the end, there was this very, very young children. He was like 1 or 2 years old. And he attracted his mother. And his mother then said, "Oh, you chant very well. Thank you very much." And then she get a book. And then, you know, I preach to her and everything. So the children, Prabhu, they were like crazy today.
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
I don't know about this moon, this thing, but today it was really transcendental for me. So, yeah,
Yes,
it's
Prabhu.
very
Yes,
auspicious day.
This is
today,
what is supposed to be done.
today is also Bhagavatam was spoken.
Oh, is it?
Yes, Prabhu. Today is the
Oh, yeah, this is true. And today also, are you gonna say what other thing is?
yes, Prabhu. We can. I
La
mean,
Prabhupada accepts sannyas today.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, you remembered it.
Srila
sannyas day.
Prabhupada accepts sannyas today. This is
Yes,
a very
Prabhu.
auspicious day, Prabhu.
Yes,
For those
Prabhu.
who are followers of Srila Prabhupada, this is very auspicious. And when you preach, you can feel that, yeah, this is different. Like I told you,
Oh,
many children chant the Maha Mantra. You were on
yes,
Zoom.
Prabhu. Yeah.
You hear this, you know, the little,
This-
you know,
the-
there was a little girl. She recited the whole mantra, and then there was a little boy also. You know, he was very happy.
Oh, you know also
So
what else day today is? Today
yeah, the
is the
brothers
day.
of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, today is day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also took sannyas.
No, bro.
Yes,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's brother Vishnu.
Isn't it? Because it says Shri Vishwarupa Mahotsava. Then I Google it
Vishnu.
says,
Yes, bro. Vishnu was his brother.
oh, yeah, here, yes, I didn't read it fully. It says Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and began to search for his brother Vishwarupa. While searching on this
yes.
day, he found out that he was in Pandarapur and that he had left his body. He had taken the samadhi on the bank of the river Bhima. Yes, Prabhu, have you heard this before? I have not heard about this
Yes,
before.
Prabhu. Because I have the Vaishnav, you know, calendar, and everything is noticed there. You can follow everything on the Vaishnav calendar.
Yes, Prabhu, so what happened? What happened today?
There was
Hmm.
there is a whole story in the. I can share the just when I will stop. In Vaishnav calendar, there is a whole story about this elder brother of his,
Yes, Prabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They share the whole story. You can Google it. I think you type the name and then you will find some page talk about this.
Yes, Prabhu.
If I'm not mistaken, this is his elder brother.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. He took the sannyas name of Sankararanya. Sankararanya. He disappeared in Pandarapura as an incarnation of Sankarsana.
You see how auspicious it is.
As it says here, he is non different from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, of course. So this is also a very auspicious day, Prabhu. Like
Yes,
this is really the case, you know. When I was preaching today, I noticed that the atmosphere is very blissful, very blissful. You know. But when you have child who approach and dance. The little girl was dancing. You know,
Yes.
you know, I was very. She stayed for like more than 20 minutes, and she said, "Oh, you chant very well, and I love this mantra." You know, she said like this, Prabhu. Yeah, I love this mantra. This is very nice. And then she introduced the mantra to her father. She called her father and she said, "Oh, you need to listen to this." This is incredible.
Same thing
You
happened
know,
to Namanita Prabhu in China.
yeah,
Same thing happened.
you see, this is the potency of Gauranga. Actually, he is the one who can attract little children like this. You know, like he will chant, and you know they will dance, they will chant. You know, even a small child, Prabhupada said, even a small child can participate. You can take this Krishna consciousness. You know, this is not hard at all. You know? So yeah, there is this eclipse, this and that. But when you are preaching, there's no problem. I didn't have any, you know. When you preach, it's okay, you know. The moment you don't preach and you eat and sleep, yes, perhaps you will have some problem.
Yes,
no doubt. But this is very auspicious. You see, just an idea like this. Sometimes in Vaishnav calendar, we have some events like this, and we don't know about many of us don't know about the elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and perhaps we can read, you know, their story, and it will be very nice, Prabhu, if we can do those type of reading sessions sometimes, because all of us sometimes don't know about those things, you know, so we can learn by reading, and you know, some pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can. When there is some events like this, it would be very nice to have those kind of reading session. You see, like this we can learn a lot of things. Because in the Vaishnava calendar is very practical. Everything is there, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. This is true. And also this happens in the Krishna book, and I remember whenever there is eclipse, the older times this was done, that the people went to the holy rivers and they were all chanting together when the eclipse happened.
Yes. You remember that, huh?
Yes,
this
Prabhu.
is auspicious actually, but you need to
This
go
is what's
to
done.
some sacred river, like Yamuna or Gange, you know, Ganga river,
Yes,
you know,
so
Saraswati.
when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, there was eclipse and all were chanting, even Muslim.
Yeah, Krishna also
Yeah,
went same thing.
yeah. Actually, you know, this is really auspicious. But now we are in Kali Yuga, and this is very impure, you know, time. So that's why we have some bad effect. But actually, this is auspicious. The moon is Krishna, is Gora Chandra. Gora Chandra. This is Gora. You know, the beginning when it was rising, the moon was yellow. This is Gauranga.
Yes, Prabhu.
You know, I have no doubt. You know, I was still chanting when the moon was rising and it was yellow, and the child was so interested in the chanting. If it was inauspicious, I will not have those type of you know, preaching here.
Here it was like this was yesterday. The moon was like Sanya's color.
Which book you distribute, Prabhu, during your preaching?
Oh, for now, I just distribute. I still have a magazine that we did with Jai Govinda Prabhu, and but for now, I just stopped the magazine because we don't have much, and for I just leave them for the person who will come to the Sunday feast, you know, and they want to know more about certain thing. I can distribute to them, but I will not distribute that. We distribute a small book. It's about the Sankirtan. It's about the mantra Hare Krishna. It explains, you know, the movement and Prabhupada, the Lord Chaitanya, everything. it is just like a small introduction into Krishna consciousness. So it's quite okay, you know, because here the people are not very intelligent, you know. They are quite demoniac here, you know, always seeking sense gratification. So it's okay, you know, we don't need to distribute a very complicated book. You know, if the person is very interested and sincere, yeah, I can distribute Bhagavad Gita and, you know, other things that I have, but Krishna book, you know, but generally they are not inclined into spirituality. They are very sinful here, very, very sinful. So the best is to chant and distribute some very, you know, simple transcendent literature, you know, just like this, you know. It will explain about the Maha Mantra, everything. This is very nice because I'm chanting. So then they know what is the mantra, who is Prabhupada, you know, who is Lord Chaitanya. This is the basic, you know. So
Yes,
they will
sir.
know the basic, and this is the best. And we try to do prasad distribution, you know.
This is it for them to eat prasad. Prabhupada said there is the tongue has two business: to chant the holy name and to eat prasad. This is the true business of the tongue. By doing that, we can control our senses, or we can revive our Krishna consciousness. So now I just try to do that program, chanting, distribution of prasad. That's all. And if I can distribute some book, yeah, I will. No problem. For example, today we distribute 24 books. So it's a very good day. Really good day. So yes, now it's just some small book, but then I have some project to do more. I will create some book. I have a project like this to do some small book, to print a small book that I will translate myself. And it will be about, the first will be about chanting, and the second one will be about the karma. I will do many like this, but I prefer the small book. The small book is better to distribute. Sometimes
Is it
people have some
is it
small,
not in books in your language, Prabhu?
not many. In France, they don't print many book. They stop printing. Now they are not printing anymore. Only Bhagavad Gita, but yeah, the other small book we don't have. So now we need to print, create book, edit book ourselves. We can choose Prabhupada lecture, some Prabhupada lecture, or some, you know, I'm working on this, and I need to translate, and we can use, you know, the internet. We can use ChatGPT, you know, and then we can see if the translation is correct. But ChatGPT translation is very nice. No problem. So we can use those device to help us, and we can edit many lecture of Srila Prabhupada, because most small book was lecture of Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhu.
You know, life come from life, perfect question, perfect answer. You know, perfection of the path of perfection. You know, the yoga, and then there is many small book, science of self-realization. You
Yes,
know,
so that is total interview and lecture.
yeah. So there are many lecture, Prabhu, that wasn't translate at all. So I can myself go through those lecture and choose what I want to print for here, translate, and then I can make a small book, and it is all Prabhupada teaching. At those time, the disciples were doing that. You know, they will arrange Prabhupada lecture, you know, and then they will print it in a book, edit it in a book. You know, so there are thousands of lecture like this. So we can print thousands of new book. We can. Prabhupada lecture is perfect. We don't need to change a
Yes,
word
sir.
on this. You see? And there is lecture about chanting, about karma, about family, about how to revive our consciousness. There are lecture, anything, thousand and thousand of lecture. That's why Prabhupada said, you need to always distribute book and print book. Print book and distribute book. Always, you know. This is not only distribute book like this. If you have those, whole book, you can distribute. But for now, in Réunion Island, in France, we don't have many book, Prabhu. Only now Krishna book, and it's not quite available now, but only Bhagavad Gita. We just have Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu. Other small book we don't have at all. We don't have Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's finished. They don't print this. We don't have Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam also. It's finished. They don't print.
Prabhu, is
So,
there
so
any
That's rascal.
ISKCON center near you?
yeah, there is some ISKCON center, but they don't like us. They don't like us. They think I will, I don't know, curse them, something like that. If they saw me, perhaps they will, be cursed or something like that. I don't know.
Yes,
They
Prabhu.
don't like me, Prabhu. They don't like me at all because I'm preaching every day, and I
Yes.
try to discredit the bogus guru, so they don't like me.
Prabhu,
Huh?
they are celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi in India.
Oh, hmm.
Prabhu, here
Yeah,
too, I saw many Lord Ganesh in the walls and everywhere. They made paintings.
yeah. So it's okay. I don't care about this. I will, edit some new book here, and I want to make it very small, just like some small book, perhaps some 30 pages or 40 pages. That's all. Don't want to do more. And yeah, that's all. We need to take up this business, print our own book. We need to do that. For those who have old book, yeah, very good. But here, in France, they don't like Krishna consciousness at all. They don't encourage that here. They think we are sectarian. This is how the people see us here. We are we are part of a sect. We are sectarian. So we I don't know. We need to do our own thing here, and yeah, follow Srila Prabhupada, but make our own field.
Yes, so
We hmm?
during Prabhupada times, there was a lot of preaching in France also.
Yeah, but then there is this disciple who was called Bhagavan, and he did some crazy thing, and he spoiled the world movement in France. And he was the one who was editing Back to Godhead in France, and he was very good disciple, but then he did some crazy thing. After Prabhupada departure, he did some crazy thing, and he spoiled the world movement in France. So now the world movement is spoiled, in France. World movement. So we need to start from scratch, and the real ISKCON is ice cream. Real ISKCON is ice cream now. So we need to start from scratch, from zero. There's no movement now. Even in Réunion Island, I don't see them Most of the people don't know about the mantra. They don't preach, Prabhu. They don't know about this. They just do the Sunday feast, some puja, finish.
Yes, Prabhu.
Eating and sleeping. That's it. So ISKM will take over. Definitely. If we are serious, ISKM will take over. No doubt about this. Prabhupada is giving the spiritual strength for those who are following strictly and render service unto him. Canto 7, chapter 15, I think verse 45, is giving Achyuta Bala. It is in the purport. Very nice verse. I love this verse. Yeah, I think this is it's in the purport. We can read this. Those who want to read, you can read. It's very nice.
Oh.
May I read?
Hare Krishna Manu
Yeah,
Prabhu.
please.
Obeisances, all glories to Śrīla Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu
Hare Krishna, please
Namaste.
accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I can read, Prabhu.
Thank
Please.
you.
A significant word here is Achyuta Balaha. The spiritual master is certainly very merciful to his disciples, and consequently, by satisfying him, a devotee gets strength from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, Guru Krishna Prashaya Bhaya Bhakta Lata Bij. One must first please the spiritual master, and then one automatically pleases Krishna and gets the strength with which to cross the ocean of omniscience. If one seriously desires to return home back to Godhead, one must therefore become strong enough by pleasing the spiritual master, for thus one gets the weapon with which to conquer the enemy and also gets the grace of Krishna. Simply gaining the weapon of jnana is insufficient. One must sharpen the weapon by serving the spiritual master and adhering to his instruction. When the candidate gets the mercy of the Supreme Personality Godhead and general warfare, one must take help from the chariot and horses in order to conquer his enemy. And after conquering his enemies, he may give up the chariot and its paraphernalia. Similarly, as long as one has a human body, one should fully use it to obtain the highest perfection of life, namely going back to Godhead. Do you want me to stop here? Is this the point you were?
Yes. Yeah, this is the point, By pleasing the spiritual master, we get the Achyuta Bala, And this is the perfect weapon to overcome Maya. Otherwise, how can we get the spiritual strength if we don't follow his instruction and try to please him? Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada nagati kutopi. So this is the main thing. By satisfying the spiritual master, then he can give us the spiritual strength, and we have potency to preach. Otherwise, we don't have any potency to preach and to speak even. So this is how it works. We can't preach if we don't have a proper sadhana, and if we don't follow properly, we can't preach. We will fall down. There's no way we can do that. So we must please the spiritual master. And then by pleasing the spiritual master, he gives us the Achyuta Bala, the spiritual strength to overcome everything, control our senses, overcome Maya. Otherwise, we will fall down, no doubt. So that's why in ISKM, we emphasize so much about preaching. Preaching is the main thing to always be transcendental. Always be on the transcendental platform.
Prabhu, can we start reading session because I have to sleep, Prabhu?
Yes. Sorry, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Okay, so who wants to chant the Mangalacharan prayers?
Prabhu, I can chant.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं स्वग्रजातं स्वगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते सप्तगांजन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पत्तानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। थैंक यू प्रभु।
Haribo, thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, next one. Srimati Shantis.
Yes. Narayam. Oh wait. It was Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Utirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhidreshu Nityam. Oh, what's yeah, it's this one. Shrinvata Swagata Krishnaha Punya Sarvana Kirtanaha Hirdyanta Kirtantasto Sto Byadrani Vitunoti Sudhrit Satam. Next verse, please. The third one, I didn't do that one yet. Nasra Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasoke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto a personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor and truth of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance of the classes of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by running service to a pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto a personality Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, chapter 3.
15.
Chapter 15. Yeah.
Text
So
number
chapter
9.
okay. Chapter one, first canto, chapter 15, verse 9. Yeah. I'll try to recite this one. That date. Oh.
Oh, this is Brahma Samhita 2.
Oh, it's a Brahman Samhita too. Okay. Going on.
You can also try.
Yate jasa nirpa shiro nikram ahan makartam ayo nujastava gaija yuta satvat viryaha tena hita bhamata nata makaya pupa yan mochitastai anayan balim Dave Varete Yat, whose Tejasa by influence, Nirpa Srinra Angaram, one whose feet are adored by the heads of the kings, Ahan the great, Makartam, for the sacrifice, Aryaha, respectable, Anujaha, younger brother, Dava, your, Gaja, Gajayuta, 10,000 elephants. Satwa Viryaha, powerful existence. Tena, by him. Arhitaha, collected. Paramata, Paramata Nata. The Lord of the Ghosts, Bhairava, Makaya, for sacrifice. Bhupaha, kings. Yatmochitaha, by whom they were released. Tat Ananya, all them brought. Balim, taxes. Adva, Ad, Advare, presented. Te, your. Translation and purport by Saline Grace. Abhay Charnar Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Shil Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Translation. Your respectable younger brother, who possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace, Jarasandha, whose feet were worshipped by many kings. These kings had been brought for sacrifice in Jarasandha's Mahabhiraiva Yajna, but they were thus released. Later they paid tribute to your majesty. Purport. Jarasandha was a very powerful king of Maga, and the history of his birth and activities is also very interesting. His father, King Brahadhata, was also a very pious, prosperous, and powerful king of Maga, but he had no son, although he married two daughters of the king of Kashi. Being disappointed in not getting a son from either of the two queens, the king, along with his wives, left home to live in the forest for austerities. In the forest, he was benedicted by one rishi to have one son, and he gave him one mango to be eaten by the queens. The queens did so and were very soon pregnant. The king was very happy to see the queens bearing children. But when the right time approached, the queens delivered one child in two parts, from each of the queen's wombs. Two parts were thrown into a forest where a great she-demon used to live, and she was glad to have some delicate flesh and blood from the newly born child. Peru, that just reading this, it reminds me of, child abortions, you know, how like they're aborting children. So actually, they're actually using children blood. Anyway, let's see here. Out of curiosity, she joined the two parts, and the children became complete and regained life. Yeah, that's true. From the wombs also, like literally, that's a fact. The she demon was known as Jara, and being compassionate to the childless king, she went to the king and presented him with a nice child. The king was very pleased with the she demon and wanted to reward her according to her desire. The she demon expressed her desire that the child be named after her, and thus the child was surnamed Jarasandha, or one who is joined by Jara, the she demon. Uh, in the English, we call it asunder. If you're cut in half in the middle, top down, we call it asunder. Wow, that's very nice. In fact, this Jarasandha was born as one of the parts and parcels of the demon Viparchiti, the saint whose benediction the queen bore the child called Chandra Kaushki, who foretold the child to be before his father Brahadartha. Since he possessed the demoniacal qualities from birth, naturally became a great devotee of Lord Shiva, who is the lord of all ghostly demoniac men. Ravana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and also King Jarasandha. He used to sacrifice all the rest of kings before Mahabharata Shiva, and by his military power he defeated many small kings and arrested them to butcher before Mahabharata. There are many devotees of Lord Mahabharata, or Kala Biraiva, in the province of Bihar, formerly called Magadha. Jarasandha was a relative of Kamsa, the maternal uncle of Krishna, and therefore, after Kamsa's death, King Jarasandha became a great enemy of Krishna, and there were many fights between Jarasandha and Krishna. Lord Krishna wanted to kill him, but he also wanted those who served as military men for Jarasandha not to be killed. Therefore, a plan was adopted to kill him. Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna together went to Jarasandha in the dress of poor brahmanas and begged charity from the king Jarasandha. Jarasandha never refused charity from any brahmana. He performed many sacrifices also, yet he was not on with devotional service. Lord Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna asked Jarasandha the facility of combating him, and it was settled that Jarasandha would fight Bhima only. So all of them were both guests and combatants of Jarasandha, and Bhima and Jarasandha fought every day for several days. Bhima became disappointed. Krishna gave him hints about Jarasandha's being joined together as an infant, and thus Bhima dissected him again and killed him. All the kings were thus detained and in the concentration camp to be killed before Mahabharata, were thus released by Bhima. Thus feeling obliged to Pandava, they paid tribute to King Yudhishthira.
Thank you,
Wow,
Prabhu,
very
all of you. Dhanod Pranam, because I'm going to sleep. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you so much for association, Shubham Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Tamas Ram Jai Sri Prabhupada Subham Prabhu. Patnyas Tavadimaka Gupta Mahabhikshika. Let me try that again. Patanyastavadimaka kalpata mahabhiksha. Slugista charuparam kitave sabbayam spristam vikirya patayo patitasumukha yastastriyo kritahate mukha keshaha patanya of the wife, Tava, your Adimaka, during the great sacrificial ceremony, Kalpa, Kil, Kil, Kilpta, dress, Mahabishka, greatly sanctified, Salgista, thus glorified, Charu, beautiful, Kabaram, clustered hair, yeah, Kaitavarha, by the miscreants, Sabayam, in the great assembly, Spristam, being taught, Vikirya, being loosened, Padayoho, on the feet, Patita, Asur Mukha Yaha, of the one who fell down with tears in the eyes, Yaha, he, Tat, there, Sri Yaha, wives, Akrita, became, Atisha, bereft of husbands, Vimukta Keshaha, loosened hair. Translation. It was he only who loosened the hair of all the wives of the miscreants who dared to open the cluster of your queen's hair when he was nicely dressed and when she was nicely dressed and sanctified for the Rajasuya ceremony. At that time, she fell down at the feet of Lord Krishna with tears in her eyes. Purport. Queen Draupadi had a beautiful bunch of hair which was sanctified in the ceremonial function of the Rajasuya Yajna. But when she was lost in the bed, Dusasana touched her glorified hair to insult her. Draupadi then fell down at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna decided that all the wives of Dushasana and the company would have their hair loosened as a result of the Battle of Kurukshetra. Thus, after a Battle of Kurukshetra, after all the sons and grandsons of Dhritarashtra died in battle, all the wives of the family were obliged to loosen their hair as widows. In other words, all the wives of the Kuru family became widows because of Dusasana's insulting a great devotee of Lord. The Lord can tolerate insults upon himself by any miscreant because of the father's tolerance, even insults from his son. But he never tolerates insults upon his devotees. By insulting a great devotee, one has to forego all the results of pious acts and benedictions also. Okay. Does anyone want to go up next?
Yes, I can read.
Able.
This is what Shun.
This is text number 11. Chapter.
Yes, but I just try to calculate the things. This is
Brahma
Brahma
Samhita.
Samhita. Yes. Yo jugopam vana hitya duranta krishcha durva sasodicha lila chittada yuttagra buryam Shakhanashistam upayujya yatastrilokim triptam amastasaririm vinimagma vidivagya sangam. Yaha, one, who
Nahas, Jugopa gave protection. Vana, forest, Itcha, getting it. Duranta, dangerously. Krishra, trouble. Durvasa Sahab of Durvasa Muni. Hari, enemy. Rachita, fabricated by. At Ayuta, 10,000. Agrabuk, 1 week before. Yaha, that person. Shaka anashistam, remnant of foodstuff. Upayugja, having accepted. Yataha, because. Trilokim, all the three worlds. Triptan, satisfy. Amashta, through within the mind. To within the mind. Salile, while in the water. Vinimagma, Magya, Sangaha, all merge into water. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. During our exile, the Vasamuni who eats with his 10,000 disciples intrigue with our enemies to put us in the dangerous trouble. At that time, he, Lord Krishna, simply by accepting the remnants of food, saved us. By his accepting food, thus the assembly of Muni, while bathing in the river, felt sumptuously fed. And all the three worlds were also satisfied. Purport. Durvasa Muni, a powerful mystic Brahmana, determined to observe the principle of religion with great vows and under strict austerities. His name is associated with many historical events, and it appears that the great mystic could be both easily satisfied and easily annoyed, like Lord Shiva. When he was satisfied, he could do tremendous good to the servitor. But if he was dissatisfied, he could bring about the greatest calamity. Kumari Kunti, at her father's house, used to minister all kinds of services to all great Brahmana. And being satisfied with her good reception, Durvasa Muni benedicted her with a power to call any demigod she desired. It is understood that he was a plenary incarnation of Lord Shiva, and thus he could easily be either satisfied or annoyed. He was a great devotee of the Lord Shiva, and by his order he accepted the priesthood of King Shvetaketu because of the king's performance of sacrifice for 100 years. Sometimes he used to visit the parliamentary assembly of the heavenly kingdom of Indradeva. He could travel in space by his great mystic powers, and it is understood that he traveled a great distance through space, even up to the Vaikuntha plans beyond material space. He traveled all this long distance within 1 year. Oh, it's him. During his quarrel with King Ambaris, the great devotee of an emperor of the world. Now I know that I heard that there is a Muni in Prabhupada lecture. I heard that there is a Muni who traveled the whole, like the whole universe in 1 year, And he said that he traveled all this long distance within 1 year. So it's him actually. He had about 10,000 disciples, and wherever he visited and became a guest of great Kshatriya kings, he used to be accompanied by a number of followers. Once he visited the house of Duryodhana, the enemy cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Duryodhana was intelligent enough to satisfy the Brahmana by all means, and the great Rishi wanted to give some benediction to Duryodhana. Duryodhana knew his mystic power, and He knew also that the mystic Brahmana is, if dissatisfied, could cause some havoc also, and thus he designed to engage Brahmana to show. Just wait, I lose the track of the things. Too small. Yeah, engage the Brahmana to show his wrath upon his enemy, cousins, the Pandava. When the rishi wanted to award some benediction to Duryodhana, the latter wished that he should visit the house of Maharaj Yudhishthira, who was the eldest and chief among all his cousins. But by his request, he would go to him after he had finished his meals with his queen, Draupadi. Duryodhana knew that after Draupadi's dinner, it would be impossible for Maharaj Yudhishthira to receive such a large number of Brahman guests, and thus the rishi would be annoyed and would create some trouble for his cousin Maharaj Yudhishthira. That was the plan of Duryodhana. Durvasa Muni agreed to this proposal, and he approached the king in exile according to the plan of Duryodhana after the king and Draupadi has finished their meals. On his arrival at the door of Maharaj Yudhishthira, he was at once well received, and the king requested him to finish his noontime religious rites in the river, and by that time the foodstuff would be prepared. Durvasa Muni, along with his large number of disciples, went to take a bath in the river, and Maharaj Yudhishthira was in great anxiety for the guest. As long as Draupadi had not taken her meal, food could be served to any number of guests. But the rishi, by the plane of Duryodhana, reached there after Draupadi had finished her meal. When the devotees are put into difficulty, they have an opportunity to recollect the Lord with rapt attention. So Draupadi was thinking of Lord Krishna in that dangerous position, and the all-pervading Lord could at once know the dangerous position of his devotee. He therefore came there on the scene and asked Draupadi to give whatever food she might have in her stock. On her being so requested by the Lord, Draupadi was sorrowful because the Supreme Lord asked her for some food and she was unable to supply it at that time. She said to the Lord that the mysterious dish which she had received from the sun god could supply any amount of food if she herself had not eaten. But on that day, she had already taken her meal, and thus they were in danger. By expressing her difficulties, she began to cry before the Lord, as only a woman would do in such a position. The Lord, however, asked Draupadi to bring up the cooking pots to see if there was any particle of foodstuff left. And on Draupadi's doing so, the Lord found some particle of vegetable sticking to the pot. The Lord at once picked it up and ate it. After doing so, the Lord asked Draupadi to call for a guest. The company of Durvasa, Bhima, was sent to call them from the river. Bhima said, "Why are you delaying, sirs? Come on, the food is ready for you." But the Brahmanas, because of Lord Krishna's accepting little particle of food, felt sumptuously fed, even while they were in the water. They thought that since Maharaj Yudhishthira must have prepared many valuable dishes for them, and since they were not hungry and could not eat, the king would feel sorry, so it was better not to go there. Thus they decided to go away. This incident proves that the Lord, He is the greatest mystic, and therefore He is known as Yogeshwara. Another instruction is that Every householder must offer food to the Lord, and the result will be that everyone, even a company of guests numbering 10,000, will be satisfied because of the Lord's being satisfied. That is the way of devotional service. Charlie.
Ribo.
Yeah, Pranjal said the greatest mystic on their side, but on our side also. Yatte jasatta bhagavan yudhisulapanir vishma pitha sagile gosnamadam nijamme anye picham amunai vakari varinam prapto mahendra bhavanim mahadasanandam. Yeah, by was Tejasa by influence at one time Bhagavan, personality of God, Lord Shiva, Ryudi in the battle, Shushapanhi, one who had a trident in hand, Vishmapitaha, astonished, Sagilichaha, along with Nijam, daughter of the Himalayan mountain, Astram, weapon, Adat awarded Nijam of his own, me unto me, Anye happy, so Anye happy, so also others. Cha and Haham myself, Amuna by this, Eva definitely, Kare Varina by the body, Praptaha obtained, Mahandra Bhavane in the house of Indra Deva, Mahat great, Asana Haldam half elevated seat. Translation. It was by his influence only that in the fight I was able to astonish the personality of God, Lord Shiva and his wife, the daughter of the Mount Himalaya. Thus he, Lord Shiva, became pleased with me and awarded me his own weapon. Other demigods also delivered their respective weapon to me, and in addition, I was able to reach the heavenly planets in this present body and was allowed a half elevated seat. Purport. By the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, all of the demigods, including Lord Shiva, were pleased with Arjuna. The idea is that one who is favored by Lord Shiva or any other demigod may not necessarily be favored by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Godhead. Ravana was certainly a great devotee of Lord Shiva, but he could not be saved from the wrath of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra. And there are many instances like that in the histories of the Purana. But here is an instance where we can see that Lord Shiva became pleased even in the fight with Arjuna. The devotees of the Supreme Lord know how to respect the demigod, but the devotee of the demigod sometimes foolishly think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not greater than the demigods. But by such a conception, one becomes an offender and ultimately meets with the same hand as Ravan and others. The instances described by Arjuna during his friendly dealing with Lord Shri Krishna are instructive for all who may be convinced by the lesson that one can achieve all freedom simply by pleasing the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, while the devotees are or the worshipper of other demigods may achieve only partial benefit of life, which are also perishable, just as the demigod themselves are. Another significance of the present verse is that Arjuna was, by the grace of Lord Shri Krishna, was able to reach the heavenly planet even with the self same body, and was honored by the heavenly demigod Indradeva being seated with him half elevated. One can reach the heavenly planet by the pious act recommended in a Shastra in the category of fruitive activities. And as stated in Bhagavad Gita, 9:21. When the reaction of such pious acts are spent, the enjoyer is again degraded to this earthly planet. The moon is also on the level with the heavenly planet, and only persons who have performed virtues only, namely performing sacrifice, giving in charity, and undergoing severe austerities, etc., can be allowed to enter into the heavenly planet after the duration of life of the body. Arjuna was allowed to enter into the heavenly planet in the same body simply by the grace of the Lord, otherwise it is not possible to do so. The present attempt to enter into the heavenly planet by the modern scientists will certainly prove futile, because such scientists are not on the level of Arjuna. They are ordinary human beings without any assets and sacrifice, charity, or austerities. The material body is influenced by the three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. The present population is more or less influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance, and the symptoms for such influence are exhibited in their becoming very lusty and greedy. Such degraded fellows can hardly approach the higher planetary systems above the heavenly planet. There are many other planets also, which only those who are influenced by goodness can reach. In heavenly and other planets within the universe, the inhabitants are all highly intelligent, many more times than the human being, and they are all pious in the higher and highest mode of goodness. They are all devotees of the Lord, and although their goodness is not inadulterated, still they are known as demigod, possessing the maximum amount of good quality possible within the material world. So, if someone wants to read, please.
Oh,
Otherwise, I can read one more.
how is Pranjal Prabhu here in the middle of the night?
What you say, Prabhu?
Oh, nothing, Prabhu. I saw Pranjal
Okay.
or Lebang Prabhu also. Maybe Pranjal Prabhu or Lebang Prabhu also wants to read. But you can read if I, because yeah, I think there's no others.
Yeah, only Lebang Prabhu and Pranjal Prabhu and Manu Prabhu, but no.
Yes, Prabhu.
So I can continue one
Yes,
if
Prabhu.
no one wants to read.
Yeah, please read this.
Yeah, just wait. 1 second. Okay. तत्रैव मे विरहतो भुजदन्तयुग्मम् कन्दीवलक्षणं मलतीवदया दिवाम सन्द्राश्लितयादनुभवितं हजमिदं तेनहं मजामुषितं पुरुषेशबुम्ना. Tatra is that heavenly planet. Eva, certainly, may myself Viharataha, while staying as a guest, Bhujadanda Yugmam, both of my arms, Gandiva, the bow, name Gandiva, Lakshanam, mark, Halati, demon, name Nivatakavacha, Padaya, for killing, Devaha, all the demigods are, along with Indraha, the heavenly king Indra, Shlitaha, taken shelter of Yat by whose Anubhavitam made it possible to be powerful, Ajamidda, of the descendant of King Ajamidda. Tena by him, Aham, myself, Adya, at the present moment, Munshitaha, bereft of Purushesha, the personality, Bumna, the supreme. Translation. When I started for some days as guest in the heavenly planet, all the heavenly demigods, including King Indradeva, took shelter of my arms, which were marked with the Gandiva bow to kill the demon named Nivatakavacha. O king, descendant of Ajamita, at the present moment I am bereft of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by whose influence I was so powerful. Purport. The heavenly demigod are certainly more intelligent, powerful, and beautiful, and yet they had to take help from Arjuna because of his Gandiva bow, which was empowered by the grace of Lord Shri Krishna. The Lord is all powerful, and by his grace, his pure devotee also can be as powerful as he may desire, and there is no limit to it. And when the Lord withdraws his power from anyone, he is powerless by the will of the Lord. Text 14. Yadbandava kurumbalabdim anantapalam ekkolatena tataleya matiliyavatvam pratyaritam bahudanam cha maya palisham tejaspadam animayam charityam silobhyam. Yadbandava, by whose friendship only, Kurubala Habdim, the ocean of military strength of the Kuru, Anantapalam, which was insurmountable. Eka alone, Latena, being seated on the chariot, Tatare was able to cross over myself, Antilia invincible, Satvam existence, Pratyaritam Trubak, Bahu very large quantity, Dhanam wealth, Cha also Maya by me, Parisham of the enemy, Tejaha Padam source of brilliance, Manimayam bedecked with jewels, Cha also Iritam taken by force, Shirobhyaham from their heads. Translation. The military strength of the Kovala was like an ocean of in which there dwelled many invincible existences, and thus it was insurmountable. But because of his friendship, I, seated on the chariot, was able to cross over it, and only by his grace was I able to regain the cows and also collect by force many helmets of the king, which were bedecked with jewels. There were sources of all brilliance. Purport. On the Kovala side, there were many stalwarts commanders like Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, and Karna, and their military strength was as insurmountable as the great ocean. And yet it was due to the Lord Krishna's grace that Arjuna alone, sitting on the chariot, could manage to vanquish them one after another without difficulty. There were many changes of commanders on the other side, but on the Pandava side, Arjuna alone on the chariot driven by the Lord Shri Krishna could manage the whole responsibility of great war. Similarly, when the Pandava were living at the palace of Vilata incognito, the Kauravas picked a quarrel with King Vilatta and decided to take away his large number of cows. Thus, while taking away the cows, Arjuna fought with them incognito and was able to regain the cows along with some booty taken by force. The jewel set on the turbans of the warrior order, Arjunas remember that all this was possible by the grace of the Lord. Text 15. Yom Bhishmakarna Guru Salvyam Chamushvadabdlam Lajanyam Balyam Latta Mandala Manditasum Aglecchalo Manavibola Tapanam Hayul Mamamsi Chadrissa Sahujjahalchat. Yaha, it is he only, Bhishma, Karna, Guru, Dronacharya, Shalvya, Chamshu, in the midst of the military phalanx, Adadbra, immense, Rajanya, Valya, great royal princes, Latlamandala, chain of chariot, Manditasu, being decorated with, Anglicharaham, going forward. Yeah. Manam of mine, Vibhu of great king, Rata Yuttapanam, or the charioteers, Hayuhu, the return of life, or fruitive activities, Manam Sri, mental upsurges, Cha also, Trisha by grants, Saha along with, Ojaha strength, Alchat withdrew. Translation: it was the only who withdrew the duration of life from everyone, and who in the battlefield withdrew the speculative power and strength of enthusiasm from the great military phalanx made by the Kaurava, headed by Bhishma, Karna, Drona, Shalvya, etc. Their arrangement was expert and more than adequate, but he, Lord Shri Krishna, while going forward, did all this. Purport: the absolute personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, by his plenary Paramatma portion, expand himself in everyone's heart, and thus he direct everyone in the matter of recollection, forgetfulness, and knowledge, the absence of intelligence, and all psychological activity. Bhagavad Gita 15:15. As the Supreme Lord, he can increase or decrease the duration of life of living being. Thus, the Lord conducted the battle of Kurukshetra according to his own plan. He wanted that battle to establish Yudhishthira as emperor of this planet. And to facilitate this transcendental business, he killed all who were on the opposite party by his omnipotent will. The other party was equipped with all military strength, supported by big generals like Bhishma, Drona, Shalvya, etc. And it would have been physically impossible for Arjuna to win the battle had the Lord not help him by every kind of tactic. Such tactics are generally followed by every statesman, even in modern warfare, but they are all done materially by powerful espionage, military tactics, and diplomatic maneuvers. But because Arjuna was the Lord's affectionate devotee, the Lord did all this himself without personal anxiety by Arjuna. That is the way of devotional service of the Lord. Yeah, we will not feel any anxiety. Text 16. Yaddosho maplanihitam guru bhishmakarnam naptare trigal tasal shalvyasaidava balikayadyaye astra nyamogga mahimani nilupitanim nopasplitusu niladasam ivasulanim. Yet under whose those protection of arms mad planihitam, myself being situated Guru, Dronacharya, Bhishma, Karna, Natli, Buri, Shvala, Trigalta, King, Sushalma, Shalvya, Sandava, King, Jayadratha, Bahalika, brother of Maharaj Santanu, Bhishma's father, Adyahi, etc. Ashtalani, weapons, Amugga, invincible, Mahimani, very powerful, Nilupitani, applied, Nanat Upapritsuhu, touch Nrihari Dasham. Nrihari Dasham. You scroll down, please, bro. Servitors of Narasimha, Prahlad, Eva, like Asulani weapon applied by the demon. Translation: great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bodhislava, Shusharma, Shalvya, Jayadratha, Barika, etc. all directed their invincible weapon against me, but by his Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair of my head. This famous verse. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Narasimha, was unaffected by the weapons the demons use against him. Very important verse. Purport. The history of Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee of Narasimha, he is narrated in the seventh canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Prahlad Maharaj, a small child of 5 years only, became the object of envy of his great father, Hiranyakashipu, only for his sons becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. The demon father applied all his weapons to kill the devotee's son, Prahlad. But by the grace of the Lord, he was saved from all sort of dangerous action by his father. He was thrown in a fire in a boiling oil from the top of a hill underneath the leg of an elephant, and was administered poison. At least the father himself took up a chop to kill his son, and thus Narasimha appeared and killed the heinous father before the son. Thus no one can kill the devotee of the Lord. Similarly, Arjuna was also saved by the Lord, although all the dangerous weapons were applied by his great opponent like Bhishma. Karna, born of Kunti by the sun god prior to her marriage with Maharaj Pandu, Karna took his birth with bangles and earring. Extraordinary sign for an undaunted hero. In the beginning, his name was Vasusena, but when he grew up, he presented his natural bangles and earring to Indradeva, and thenceforward he became known as Vaikartam. After his birth, from maiden Kunti, he was thrown in the Ganges. Later, he was picked up by Adirat, and he and his wife Radha brought him up as their own offsprings. Karna was very charitable, especially towards Brahmana. There was nothing which he could not spare for a Brahmana. In the same charitable spirit, he gave in charity his natural bangles and earring to Indradeva, who, being very much satisfied with him, gave him in return a great weapon called Shakti. He was admitted as one of the students of Dronacharya, and from the very beginning there was some rivalry between him and Arjun. Seeing his constant rivalry with Arjun, Duryodhana picked him up as his companion, and this gradually grew into greater intimacy. He was also present in the great assembly of Draupadi's Swayambara function, and when he attempted to exhibit his talent in that meeting, Draupadi's brother declared that Karna could not take part in the competition because of his being the son of a Shutla carpenter. Although he was refused in the competition, still, when Arjuna was successful in pursuing the fish target on the sailing, and Draupadi bestowed her garland to Arjuna, Karna and the other disappointed prince offered an unusual stumbling block to Arjuna while he was living with Draupadi. Especially Karna fought with him very valiantly. But all of them were defeated by Arjun. Duryodhana was very much pleased with Karna because of his constant rivalry with Arjun, and when he was in, in power, he entered Karna in the state of anger. Being baffled in his attempt to win Draupadi, he advised Duryodhana to attack King Drupada, for after defeating him, both Arjun and Draupadi could be arrested. But Dronacharya rebuked them for this conspiracy, and they refrained from the action. Karna was defeated many times not only by Arjun but also by Bhimashena. Sorry, he was the king of the kingdom of Bengal, Odisha, and Madras combined. Later on, he took an active part in the Jasuya sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and when there was gambling between the rival brothers designed by Shakuni, Karna took part in the game, and he was very pleased when Draupadi was offered as a bet in a gambling. This fed his old grudge. When Draupadi was in the game, he was very enthusiastic to declare the news, and it is he who ordered Dushasana to take away the garments of both the Pandava and Draupadi. He asked Draupadi to select another husband because, being lost by the Pandava, she was rendered a slave of the Kuru. He was always an enemy of the Pandava, and whenever there was an opportunity, he tried to curb them by all means. During the battles of Kurukshetra, he foresaw the conclusive result, and he expresses his opinion that due to Lord Krishna's being the chariot driver of Arjuna, the battle should be won by him. He always differed with Bhishma and the battle, and sometimes he was proud enough to say that within 5 days he could finish up the Pandava if Bhishma would not interfere with his plan of action. But he was much mortified when Bhishma died. He killed Ghatotkacha with the Shakti weapon obtained from Indradeva. His son Brisasena was killed by Arjun. He killed the largest number of Pandava soldiers. At least there was a severe fight with Arjun, and it is the only who was able to knock off the helmet of Arjun. But it so happened that the wheel of his chariot got stuck in the battlefield mud, and when he got down to set the wheel right, Arjuna took the opportunity and killed him, although he requested Arjuna not to do so. Naptri or Burishwara. Burishwara was the son of Somadutta, a member of Kuru family. His other brother was Shalvya. Both the brother and the father also attended the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. All of them appreciated the wonderful strength of Arjuna due to his being the devotee friend of the Lord, and thus Bodhisattva advised the son of Dhritarashtra not to pick any quarrel nor to fight with them. All of them also attend the Rajasuya Yagya of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Sorry. He possessed one Akshauhini regiment of army, cavalry, elephant, and chariot, and all these were in pride. In the battle of Kurukshetra on behalf of Duryodhana's party. He was counted by Bhima as one of the Yuddha party. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he was specially engaged in a fight with Satyaki and he killed 10 sons of Satyaki. Later on, Arjuna cut off his hand and he was ultimately killed by Satyaki. After his death, he emerged into the existence of Vishvadeva. Very interesting, huh? Absolutely. I need to take note of those things. Tegalta or Shushalma, son of Maharaj Vlidakshetram and the king of Trigalta Desha. And he was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Drupaji. He was one of the allies of Duryodhana, and he advised Duryodhana to attack the Matsya Desha, Dalbanga, during the time of co-stealing in Vilanagar. He was able to arrest Maharaj Virata, but later on Maharaj Virata was released by Bhima. And in the battle of Kurukshetra he also fought very valiantly, but at the end he was killed by Arjuna. Jayadratha, another son of Maharaj Vilitakshitra, he was the king of Sindhu, modern Singh, Pakistan. Desha. His wife's name was Dushala. He was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi and he desired very strongly to have a hand, but he failed in the competition. But since then, he sought always the opportunity to get in touch with Draupadi when he was going to marry in the Shalvyadesha. On the way to Kamyavan, he happened to see Draupadi again and was too much attracted to her. The Pandava and Draupadi were there in exile after losing their empire in the gambling, and Jayadratha thought it wise to send news to Draupadi in an illicit manner through Kotishasya. This is some serious business. One of his associates, Draupadi, at once. This is some drama. I'm reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but this is drama, Prabhu. Draupadi at once refused vehemently to the proposal of Jayadratha, but being so much attracted by the beauty of Draupadi, he tried again and again. Oh, look at this. He's completely gone, lusty desire. Every time he was refused. And this is illicit, he can't do that. But he's still doing it, Every time he was refused by Draupadi, he tried to take her away forcibly on his chariot. He's crazy. And at first, Draupadi gave him a good dashing, and he fell like a cutthroat tree. But he was not discouraged, and he was able to force Draupadi to sit on the chariot. Crazy fellow. This incident was seen by Domya Muni, and he strongly protested the action of Jayadratha. He also followed the chariot and through Datriya, the matter was brought to the notice of Maharaj Yudhishthira. The Pandava then attacked the soldier of Jayadratha and killed them all. And at least Bhima caught hold of Jayadratha and beat him. Oh, so Bhima killed him. And never beat him very severely. Almost dead. Oh, yeah. Then all but 5 hairs were cut off his head. and he was taken to all the king and introduced as the slave of Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was forced to admit himself to be the slave of Maharaj Yudhishthira before all the princely order. And in the same condition, it was brought before Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira was kind enough to order him release, and when he admit to become a tributary prince under Maharaj Yudhishthira, Queen Draupadi also desire his release. Oh, so compassionate. After this incident, he was allowed to return to his country. Being so insulted, he went to Gangotri in the Himalayas and undertook a severe type of penance to please Lord Shiva. He asked his benediction to defeat all the Pandava, at least one at the time. He is Hiranyakashipu like. he wants he wants some revenge, so but he asked Lord Shiva, Hiranyakashipu as Lord Brahma, Then the battle of Kurukshetra began, and he took sides of Duryodhana. In the first day's fight, he was engaged with Maharaj Drupada, then with Vilata, and then with Abhimanyu. While Abhimanyu was being killed mercilessly, surrendered by 7 great generals, the Pandava came to his help, but Jayadratha, by the mercy of the Lord Shiva, repulsed them with great ability. At this, Arjuna took a vow to kill him. And on hearing this, Jayadratha wanted to leave the war. He wants to leave the warfield.
Yes, Prabhu.
And this is crazy. And asked permission from the Kova for this cowardly action. Why he went to Lord Shiva first place and then you want to, This is crazy. But he was not allowed to do so. On the contrary, he was obliged to fight with Arjuna. Yes, you meet death, please. And while the fight was going on, Lord Krishna reminded Arjuna that the benediction of Shiva upon Jayadratha was that whoever would cause his... Oh, this is this pastime. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I heard this. So... was that whoever would cause his head to fall to the ground would die at once. He therefore advised Arjuna to throw the head of Jayadratha directly onto the lap of his father, who was engaged in penance. Oh, very clever. At the Samanta Panchaka pilgrimage. This was actually done by Arjuna. Jayadratha's father was surprised to see a severed head on his lap. And he had threw it to the ground. Wait, he threw the head through the father's lap, but the father was in a pilgrimage. So it was like far away, right?
Yes, Prabhu. It flew across the sky. Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, this is some crazy pastime. The father immediately died. Sorry, his forehead being cracked in 7 pieces. Oh, this is...
Yes,
I
Prabhu.
will never
Head
forget
just
this.
flew there. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy, Prabhu. I will read one more and then I will stop. I need to sleep because this is already, very late. 9 p.m. For me, it's late.
Yes, Prabhu.
Satye vritha kumachinam madahishvalomem yatpada padmam abhavayam bhajanti bhavyaham mam shrantavaham alayo latino bhuvishtam naprahalan yadanubhavam nilashta chitaham. Satya, Sautya, regarding a chariot driver, Vrittaha engaged Kumachina by bad consciousness. Atmada, one who delivers Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, may my Yat Uz Pada Padman lotus feet. Abhavayam, in the matter of salvation, Bhajanti, to run the service, Bhavyaha, in the intelligent class of men, Mam, in unto me, Shranta, thirsty, Paham, by horses. Alayuhu, the enemies, Latina, a great general, Bhuvishtam, while standing on ground, did not. Plahalam, attack. Yet was Anubhava, mercy. Nirashta, being absent. Chittaha, mind. Translation. It was by his mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descend from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my lord that I dare engage him as my chariot driver, for he is worshipped and offered service by the best man to attain salvation. Purport: Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the object of worship both by impersonalists and by the devotee of the Lord. The impersonalist worship his growing effulgence, emanating from his transcendental body of eternal form, bliss, and knowledge. And the devotees worship him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are below heaven, even the impersonalists consider him to be one of the greatest historical personalities. The Lord, however, descends to attract all by his specific transcendental pastime, and thus he plays the part of the most perfect master, friend, son, and lover. His transcendental relation with Arjun was his friendship, and the Lord therefore played the part perfectly, as he did with his parents, lovers, and wives. While playing in such a perfect transcendental relation, the devotee forgets by the internal potency of the Lord that his friend or son is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although sometimes the devotee is bewildered by the acts of the Lord, after the departure of the Lord, Arjuna is conscious of his great friend. But there is no mistake on the part of Arjuna, nor any ill estimation of the Lord. Intelligent men are attracted by the transcendental acting of the Lords with a pure and enlightened devotee like Arjuna. In the warfield, scarcity of water is a well-known fact. Water is very rare there, and both the animal and man working strenuously in the warfield constantly require water to quench their thirst.
Yes, Prabhu. This I'm
Especially.
thinking often that in the modern war they go so long distances everywhere and they have to carry everything. And I'm always thinking, because they can only carry a certain amount of water. So when they run out of water, that's like the most valuable thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, because without water, they can't fight,
Yes, Prabhu.
No one can do something. Especially wounded soldier in general feel very thirsty. Yes, it's true. At time of death, and it sometimes so happen that simply for want of water, one has to die unavoidably. But such scarcity of water was solved in the battle of Kurukshetra by means of boring the ground. By God's grace, water can be easily obtained from any place if there is facility for boring the ground. The modern system works on the same principle of boring the ground, but modern engineers are still unable to dig immediately wherever necessary. It appears, however, from the story as far back as the days of the Pandava that big generals like Arjun could at once supply water even to the horses, and what to speak of men. by drawing waterform underneath the hard ground simply by penetrating the stratum with a sharp arrow. Wow. Method still unknown to the modern scientists. This is crazy. Only with a sharp arrow. Wow, this is so cool.
Yes, Prabhu.
And now we think that we are very advanced and oh, Krishna. This is only with a sharp arrow he is able to supply water to horses and to
Yes.
men, like this is so cool, We
And
must
here yes, Prabhu.
we must know that, this should be in school, like we can imagine you were young and you listen to those beautiful story and you say, oh, this is something else, what is that, yeah, it is not possible now. Oh, it's okay, I'm 41 years old and I'm reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay, thank you, Krishna. Srila Prabhupada. Haribo. It's what chapter, Prabhu? This is 15? Chapter
Yeah,
15? Something?
115. 115. I'm thinking 115, 16. Yeah, this could go to notes, this verse. It's nice.
This is very good verse,
Yes, Prabhu. Okay,
I,
tomorrow we
I, I
can.
want to take note of this story, of Jayadratha,
Yes, Prabhu.
I want to take note of that because we can use this in, whatever you talk about something related to this, you can use that story because this is very, you can easily remain, memorize this because this is very nice story, very, very funny. We never forget that. Shishi Shastaka.
Haribo. Okay, who will begin?
You please begin, no problem. I will do the rest.
तेजोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदां पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
Nam Nam Karibahuda Nija Salva Shakti Statram Pitani Amitas Malanina Kalaham Tadrishi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dudaiva Midrishamiha Janinanuragam. Trinadapi snichenam tararapi saishnanam maninamanadinam kirtaniya sadari. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadishakamaye. Mama janmani janmani swari bhavatan bhakti laituki tvai. Ainandatanuja kinkanam pachitam mam visame bhavam budok tava pada pankajastat chitaduri sadrisham vichintaya nayanam garada shrudayana vadanam gadada daragila pulakai nichitam bapukada tava namagane bhavishyati Gaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat salvam govinda vidaye name Aslishyava padalatam pinastu mamal darshanam mal mahatam karotuva yata tatava vidatatulam patumat prananatastu saivana palam Shishastakam Kich.
Oh, I was muted. Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to the living beings, and thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy name, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Oh, Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire a beautiful woman, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy names? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of the name?
O Govind, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or make me heartbroken by not giving present before me. He's completely free to do anything and everything for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally.
Haribol, Shri
Haribol.
Sri Ki Jai.
Jai.
Baujan Prayati Shavana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pada Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of Godhead that is the ultimate goal of this chanting.
To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for the propagating the holy name of Lord. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent the name of Lord Vishnu. To disobey the orders of spiritual master.
To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in version to the Vedic versions, consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord, to consider the chanting Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are often in the Vedas as fruitive activity, karma, kanda. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name and to maintain material attachment, to not have complete faith and to maintain material attachment, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna plan. Let us offer our respectful obeisances
Yes,
unto all the Vaishnava devotees to the Lord, or the Lord. They can fulfill the desire of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen soul. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacham vachitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Ananta Kochi Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gora Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, yeah, Prabhus, for
Thank you
having
so
this
much,
great
Prabhu.
dedication. Oh, Drona Prabhu is here also. Dandat Prabhu.
Yes, please now Drona and Pranjal, go to sleep now.
Oh,
It's
No,
Prabhu's.
already
Prabhu, we have,
12.
I'm chanting today 30 rounds. More at 2 rounds are
Oh,
left.
Hari Bol.
Haribo. Japa session starts soon. You can
Yeah,
continue.
Yeah,
Prabhu.
so
At
Pranjal
12
Prabhu
I'm
and
starting.
Drona Prabhu, I want to see you on the Japa session. I don't care about this time.
Prabhu, Gauri Siddhi Prabhu, Hare Krishna. At
Yes.
exactly at 12, I will join Prabhu. I will join. I will chant till 1:30. After that, I will go and sleep. Again, 4 rounds, I will come back again.
Okay.
12 to
But don't
1.
sleep. Yeah, but don't sleep in Brahma Muhurta. Huh? Don't sleep in that time, please. Hmm? Otherwise, Shiva will haunt you. He will send his ghost for you. Hmm?
No, no,
Don't.
Prabhu. No.
Yeah, don't sleep in that time. Huh? You try to check the time. Hmm? Don't sleep in Brahma Muhurta. Sami Prabhu had all the verses. Hmm? Shiva can attack you in Brahma Muhurta, and he can send you the ghost.
Yes,
So don't
Prabhu.
sleep at
Of
that time.
course.
Yeah,
Like
Then
this is
Prabhu,
in
I'm
your
feeling
time
sleepy now itself.
to sleep. Hmm? What you said?
I'm feeling sleepy now itself. So I will join. I will complete my rounds. I guess I may chant extra rounds tomorrow as well. I guess.
Very nice, bro. Hmm? But you need to sleep now.
Yes,
Go to
Prabhu.
bed now. Pranjal Prabhu, I saw you in the battlefield. Haribo!